Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Hello Spud Squad and welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at the Sega Dreamcast, a console I don't have a lot of experience with, well, especially when I was growing up, because I didn't have one. A friend had one, but all he had was Sonic, and that was about it. But since I've become a grown-up, of course, I've been able to play a lot more of these games and appreciate not just how good they were, but also how beautiful they were. So today I am looking at some of the most beautiful games that were ever released for the console. Before we go any further, if you think I deserve it, please remember to hit that like, hype, and subscribe button, as well as listen to the weekly podcast and join our free Discord. Now, as always when I do these lists, this is just my opinion of what I think are the most beautiful games. You may completely disagree with me and go, no, there are more good looking games than the ones that you put forward. If that's the case, let me know in the comments below. Or if you think I'm right, just tell me about your history and what you think of these games. Alright, let's get into it, shall we? The most beautiful games for the Dreamcast. Shenmue. Now, Shenmue is a very important game. It's essentially, I'd put it, the dawn of that open-era sandbox games. So games like Grand Theft Auto basically should be getting on its knees, nothing more than that, bowing, before anyone else thought I was going in a different direction. But they should be saying thank you to Shenmue. Now, this game does have terrible voice acting, which is hilarious, but that kind of makes it up. I like games with terrible voice acting. You look at Resident Evil. That's made so much better because the terrible voice acting in Resident Evil 1, it's absolutely superb. But this game, you can do so much. Like, okay, fair enough, there is an overarching plot where basically Ryu's father's killed and you're sent on this mysterious adventure to try and find out who did it. And the whole time you're just going around doing that Liam Neeson thing of, where's my family, where's my family? Or it says, where's my father, where's my father's killer? Well, your father's dead, it's your father's killer. But really, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can just go explore the town. So if you want to do forklift racing, which is hilarious, if you want to do street fighting, you can do that. If you want to go buy a soda, you can go do that. If you want to go play Sega games, you can go do that in the local arcade. You can even, as I said with the forklift driving, do an actual job if you want to. This game just has so much to do. I don't know how long it's going to take you to finish because you might just get hooked up and become a forklift driver in your actual day job. Give you the skills, although I don't think a forklift company is going to accept 60 hours of you playing on Shenmue as real experience. But the game itself is a beautiful looking game. The facial expressions are great for the character models, the fact that there's weather effects, and that really affects the NPCs, and some of them will get their umbrellas out if it's raining. And the town itself just feels alive, and that's what you want from a video game, especially of this era. It's a shame that Shenmue series kinda doesn't keep going. I know we've had 1, 2, and 3, but I would have loved to see more of this series going forward. Dead or Alive 2. Now, I don't have a biggest experience with the Dead or Alive franchise. Basically, I can't focus on everything. I went with Tekken and Street Fighter. They were the ones I went with, and maybe the Gundam games, because they're cool as well. But sadly, I didn't have a lot of time with Dead or Alive. I played some of it, and Dead or Alive 2 is one of them. Now, Dead or Alive 2 was originally an arcade game that got ported over to the Dreamcast, and it was a huge step up from the first game. Like, critics were absolutely in love with this, and fans loved it in the arcades as well, so when it came to being on the Dreamcast, he's like, oh, is this going to work? Yes, it did. Now, sometimes the jump over from the arcade to the console doesn't always work, but it really does here. The game is absolutely beautiful. There are great characters in here, 8 from the original game and 4 new ones. And there's also multi-layered stages to beat the absolute ever-loving shit out of your opponent. The game was also made with professional martial artists doing the motion capture because they wanted to make it look and feel as realistic as they could. Although, let's be honest, a lot with the Dead or Alive franchise, I could just sit here and go, boobs, boobies, because that's what this franchise then often gets known about. But I'm not, because I'm respectful to these things. Dead or Alive 2 is an extremely fast arcade game, which worked very well on the Dreamcast, but sadly didn't when it got to the PlayStation 2. Yes, they wanted to rush it out for the launch of the PS2 and made it a launch title for both Japan and America. However, the port was rushed and it didn't have the benefits the Dreamcast had, and it's a crap version. So stick with the Dreamcast version if you want to play it. Soul Calibur.
This victory strengthens the soul of Fan Song Yong.
Now, I won't lie, there's a lot of fighting games on this list because that is my bread and butter, and we all know on this channel I'm absolutely in love with them. But Soul Calibur itself is considered the best game on the Dreamcast, if not one of the best games ever made, for good reason. If you're looking at the Metacritic score, it's second only to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I don't think it's ever going to get beat anytime soon, although GTA 6 is around the corner. Now, I've talked about this many times on the channel before, and probably will again. It continued the story from the first game on the PlayStation, Soul Blade, which I goddamn love Soul Blade. Great game, but added a whole lot of new characters, including Ivy, who is definitely not safe for work content. I was considering what thumbnail I was going to use with Ivy on it, but some of them are just definitely going to get me in trouble with YouTube, so hopefully this one's actually been okay, because yeah, characters like Ivy can definitely get into trouble with the YouTube gods. Now, unlike Dead or Alive 2, which is considered a really good port of the arcade version, Soul Calibur's version on the Dreamcast is considered the definitive version. It's so much better than the arcade one. There was new lighting, polygons, textures, it ran at 60 frames per second, which is incredible from the Dreamcast. It also added mission mode, which is like an RPG mode, and not many games do this, but I like it. Because in this, there are different missions you can do, like you've got handicaps, or you can only use, say, vertical attacks, or you're poisoned. Each one adds a new challenge. And the game's roster is so tight and so good, and there are different styles and different weapons for you to play with, so you've all got your favourites here. My character has always been Nightmare, although he wasn't Nightmare in the first game, he's Siegfried. But I've always loved Nightmare / Siegfried, because that's my guy with a big-ass sword. Although we all know what happened when we got Soul Calibur 2, we all picked Link. When this game came out, it basically became the gold standard for all arcade ports, and any other one that came after that really had to look at this game and go, yeah, we really need to step up our game here, because Soul Calibur just stands on a platform all on its own. It's an absolutely go-to game, and as I said, in my opinion, is the best game on the Sega Dreamcast, if not the most beautiful looking.
Out of the ring! This victory strengthened the soul of...
Test Drive Le Mans. Now, I will be clear, I will come out of my comfort zone just a little bit, because I said this is about the most beautiful games on the console, and Test Drive Le Mans definitely fits this. This is about graphics, and yes, oh yes, this game does deserve to be on this list. Just looking at the footage I'm showing you, look at it. The cars, the environment, oh my god, it's absolutely incredible. I can talk about the lighting, because you always have to talk about the lighting when it comes to cars and how the light reflects off each one. I'm not going to go that far, but my god, this is a really good game. Like, all the cars feel weighty as well. Rather than like a toy like in Micro Machines, you actually feel like you're really driving a proper car. Now, in this one, if you don't know what Le Mans is, it's basically a French 24-hour race, which I have no interest in watching or participating in. But if you want to take part in a 24-hour race, you actually can do this. As if I'd be allowed to play a 24-hour video game race. As if the wife would allow that. How the hell is that going to work? Even in the modern day settings, I need to go poop, I need to eat. It's going to be like a South Park thing when I suddenly start shouting, Mom! Bathroom! Bathroom! Don't think the wife's going to appreciate that when I'm asking to bring a bucket in and just poop all over it. I know we've gone on a tangent here, but I can't see how it's going to work any other way. Really. Because I'll be drinking so many energy drinks to try and keep me awake for 24 hours. It's not going to be good with that much caffeine in my system. I know we've gone on a tangent again, but that's just how my mind works. We all know who signed up for in this thing. We all know. Jet Set Radio. Again, this is a very different game to what I'm used to, and I'm not really a fan of the Tony Hawk genre, but this game is just so very different to anything I've played before. And a lot of it is because of that cel-shading art style, which, yeah, was very controversial when it had The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, which oddly enough I'm actually playing right now for the podcast. But it really showed with the art style, like you can see here, it still holds up today. Cel-shaded graphics, whilst yes controversial, add so much light and colour to the world, everything just absolutely pops. Yes, I know there is a HD version of this game, but who cares? I'd still play this version as well and just say, yeah, this still looks really good. In this game, you're sprawling around the city, you're basically going around trying to meet objectives and tag things. But the whole beauty about this game is seeing that the character's moving around like bloody Spider-Man, well, Spider-Man on roller skates, and you just grinding your way up along platforms, up along anything you can see really, and building that speed to get to the next objective. It does take some practice, but once you're able to do it, you can get in such a flow state, it's just absolutely beautiful. Again, it's like if you were playing Spider-Man, once you get in that flow state of how to be able to web sling around a city, it's just mwah. And when you're going around such a colourful and bright world, where the characters don't sit still like my own children, I am trying to do my daughter's teeth and she just can't stand still. I'm like, stand goddamn still! It's like the characters here, they just keep moving. But this is clearly the world I've got to live in. My daughter is basically going to be going around in her roller skates or rollerblades, whatever you want, tagging the world because she can't sit still. But as I said at the beginning of this, I'm not a fan of Tony Hawk. The idea of doing things like grinding just bores me to tears. But in this world, it really doesn't. I just find it fun. Maybe because I just don't like skateboards. Probably that's what it is.
Yeah! Nice!
Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Now, some of you may agree with this being on this list, some of you may disagree. But for me, I think it's one of the best 2D sprite games, although not the best, which will be the final entry, which you can all probably guess what that's going to be. Now, along with Soul Calibur, this game is absolutely legendary. For many years, it was top of the Marvel vs. Capcom series, and for many people, it still is. It took the original formula of 2v2 and turned into a 3v3 and allowed for absolute more chaos. But the beauty in this game is that artwork, that 2D artwork that's against the 3D backdrop. They did actual character portraits for each one, which is just mwah. And the character sprites themselves just look so goddamn beautiful and so striking. There are 56 characters and loads of fan favourites to ones you've probably never even heard of before. But this game allowed some of the most random combinations you can ever have. But I was quite basic, I was a bit of a basic bitch. I always had Ryu, Sakura, and Spider-Man because they were my favourites. For my brother, it was always Wolverine because there were two Wolverines, and Jill Valentine, which basically meant the whole time that you could hear him going, bah, 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 bah. I know it's Berserker Barrage, but me and my brother used to go, well, we used to do Wolverine matches, 4 Wolverines and whoever we wanted for the last ones, and all it was just us going, bah, 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 bah. So you can imagine just Wolverine constantly, and we put the volume up as loud as we could. You literally thought a madman has just come into the house just screaming off his medication. Oh, God, they were good times. And this game isn't balanced at all. It's not. It's not a good game for competitive fighting because there's like 6 or 7 characters which everyone picks and the rest are just garbage. But who cares? It's just so much fun. That's what video games are all about. And finally, yes, it was probably going to be this, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. For me, this is the most beautiful 2D game ever made. And it still holds up today, and if you were to release this brand new right now, we would still be literally drooling over it. That artwork is the best pixel artwork I have ever seen in a 2D video game. Bold statement, but I'll put it up there. I was helped, obviously, because it was an arcade and then Dreamcast game. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is actually the third, well, obviously, version of this game. And it's a good thing because the first 2 versions, well, especially New Generations, did not go down very well and nearly tanked the whole series. And in reality, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike didn't do as well as it could have, but it's only as time has gone by, everyone sat there and gone, do you know what? This game is absolutely amazing and we all love it. The reason for this is because 3D games were on the up, so games like Tekken and Virtua Fighter were coming forward when they saw that 2D games, they're kind of in the dust. But as we've all been able to look at it retrospectively, we've gone, actually, yeah, this is ridiculously good. Those sprites are just so beautiful, they're so gorgeous, they're so level of detail. There's so many different frames of animation, it just flows so well. And the fact is, as a fighter, they're still learning things about it even today. Along with all the different characters in the roster, the game also introduced a dash system where you can basically do a double little jump and you're right in someone's face, or the parry system, so which meant you could basically sit back and predict when an opponent's going to attack and get right in the face doing that way. It's a very, very technical game. It doesn't really feel very Street Fighter, but instead it's produced some of the best moments in gaming history. We all know that Evo moment. As this game is still played along with MVC2 at tournaments and is still highly loved, probably more than most games on this list. And yes, some of you are going to say you should have talked about 3D games, but that's fine, because I'll hear your list, I'll hear your arguments in the comments. I always like to hear what you guys got to say. But for me, this is one of the most beautiful. I'd probably say this and Soul Calibur are my favourite games of the Dreamcast, because my god, they look so good, and my god, they're the best representation of 2D and 3D games that I can think of. Although some of you may disagree, and some of you may think I'm chatting bubbles, but that's completely fine. I just wish Sakura was in this game. It's all I've ever wished for.
You win.
And that's it. The most beautiful games on the Sega Dreamcast. As always, I'd love to hear what you guys got to say. And please, if you've got a second, give a hype and a like, because that is what helps get views on the channel. I should also say a big thank you as we hit 9,000 subscribers. Thank you so, so much. It means the world. Now the next target is 10,000 subscribers. We've also got the weekly podcast, and Pikmin 2 has just gone out, so if you want to listen to the continued adventures of Captain Olimar, go over and listen to where you get your podcast from. I'll see you again in a few days from the video. My name's been Danny. Take care of yourself. Follow your dreams.